All right, today we're going to bring an MSI X870E Mag Tomahawk Wi-Fi 7 built in. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what you get when you get something like this. Now, this is an AMD CPU motherboard, but it comes with a ton of stuff. Now, maximum memory you're going to be able to install is 256 on this one. Now, the great thing about it is I like that they installed finally an error display system here. It has plenty of fans connection, plenty of RGB connections, but one of the things I like is because the last motherboard I had didn't have enough slots for my M.2 NVMe. This one has plenty of slots. So we're going to show you, and not only that, it has plenty of features that should have been done a long time ago. A lot of GPUs get broken down every time you're trying to push the button right here. But look at this. There's actually a button right here on the right to release the actual system. It just picks up. Now, there's also a button right here that you just push the button for the actual NVMe M.2 that you can install, but you have another one. Now, this is where it gets a little weird, right? So I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna put this back. Here on the middle one, it's just there's two M.2 slots, but you need to use a little small screwdriver. It's not included. You got to provide your own, all right? And on here, this is the only one that's not a push button. It's just like you take it off and you have a slot for two of them in here. So that's where it gets a little weird. I wonder why they didn't go with the same flow as the first one. I mean, it wouldn't cost that much just to do that. And then on the bottom one, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then you push the button here, and this one has it, but the other one doesn't. It's just like the weirdest thing. It's like they could have spent a little bit more, make it easier, user-friendly, easy to rotate, because for example, me, I save a lot of files in one of the drives where I do a lot of video editing. I like to back those up, take them off, add a new one, load them up, so forth, and save them, or transfer that file somewhere else. But I rotate them. And the only thing is, like, it would have been easier if they had that scenario. Now, instead, they have this screw thing. But the great thing about it, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to demonstrate you guys that they did something really, really good, that a lot of motherboards are starting to do it now, is that you don't need that little tiny screw no more. It's just, you just basically set these up. If you guys can see that, you can rotate them. And then, of course, I'm putting it wrong here. Put this in here, face it down, and all you got to do is lock it in. So once you face it down, if you guys can see it, there's a little gap in there. Just lock it in place, and that's it. That's all you got to do. And look at that. It's locked in now. So you don't need any screws, but they do give you an option to add screws if you want. You could remove the whole thing and go back to the old fashioned. But why go back? The only reason they do that is because these are fragile. You keep taking them in and out. You might break one. They give you an option. You could replace the whole thing. You could even increase the actual level it. You could even decrease it too. So that's a great option that they include in there. Like I said, they have a push button here for the GPU, a push button right here for the main NVMe that you want to install. Now, they do have double-sided thermal tape on both. Just make sure to remove this one and this one prior to setting up your actual M.2. You have room for 1 here, 2, 3, and then 4. Cables. The cables are SATA cables, all right? They give you 1 cable for the actual connections, the pins connection for your tower to your actual motherboard. And the great thing about it, they're all numbered and labeled, so you don't really have to work too hard to install these. And of course, they give you an extension for if you have RGB lighting. And if you want to go back to screws, they give you a screw. And this is the best part of it. They give you a USB with all the drivers. So out of the box, if you don't have internet access, which a lot of us do when we forget to download and install, or we don't have any CD, this is perfect. So everything's included in here. They do have all the connections in the front. They're not the back base, but a lot of motherboards do have the built-in to back. It's something that, it caught on for a while, but now it's going back to what it used to be. Everything in the front, everything's well heated treated, so they have good ventilation transplants and radiators all over the extra places. You do have your extra connections here for your SATA, and then you get two USBs, 3.0 and the 3.2, all right, on this one. So on the I/O shield, you get the BIOS buttons, of course, and the switch of BIOS too. You do get HDMI connection. You do get two of the USBs. Now, let me let you guys know about something. Power management on the USBs, if you're running something like an external video card or anything like that, you're going to take some of the actual power from the actual center piece of the actual motherboard, which is more like the M.2s, right? And there's a lot of details on it that you can go into the actual book. It tells you, power management on it, but only for those that are going to be using or transferring fast dimensions and want to use the actual full potential of these two type C. Now you do get a couple of all right, let's go over the actual USBs. Now you are going to get 4 USBs 2.0, which are right in the center, if you guys can see it. You get 4 of the 2.0 in the front also too, which is going to be more for the actual case itself. And also you get 3 USBs, which you could transfer type A, but you could transfer all the way to 5 gigs on this one. So you get a bunch of USBs, more than any other motherboard. Now on this one, because it has Wi-Fi 7, they do get the dual antennas in here. You get this is for audio connection. All right, if you guys don't know what this is, it's more for an optical cable that comes in it, but you still have the old-fashioned 3.5 jack connections that you have in here. So pretty much you're going to run a 5 gigs gigabyte transfer on this one. You don't have to worry about the 1 or 10 or more. It's all built in here. On the actual slots that you guys see, you see 3 slots in here. One's a 16x slot, which is the wrist one. Now the middle one is going to be a 1x, but the bottom one, it's a 4x. All right, so it depends on the usage that you're going to use. So a lot of people like to put in their Elgato cards. Make sure you basically put them on the bottom, get the best connection as it is. Now this one has a 7.1 USB audio performance, and it's a surround sound pretty much, and that's what it supports. It has built-in different channels on it. It supports up to 32-bit on it playback in front of this is going to be basically in front of the panel, right? If you plug it in the front of it, that's where you're going to get. You could actually set this up as a RAID. So if you have a lot of if you have all these drives together, you could build them as one if you want, depending on your actual M.2s, because some of them require different speeds, and if you do have a slower one than the other one, then it's not going to balance itself. It's going to work, it's just not going to balance itself on the transfer rate and the usage. So just be aware about that when you actually RAID the stuff. Make sure it's a similar to the one that you're going to RAID to. Now if you're working in a corporate environment, TMP, it's built in here as 2.0, so you don't have to worry about that. And those are the people that are going to do BitLocker, all right, in the system. Now, in order to clone your existing drive over to this one, you are going to disable BitLocker on the system, and make sure that if you're going to install it, reinstall it in here. After installation, you could turn it back on. It depends up to you. Those are for extra security purposes that you're going to run on the TMP. Now, before, these systems didn't have the TMP built in. You had to actually buy separate, but now it's all built in. For reasons, TMP was very important. I work in a corporate environment where I was the IT manager for a large corporation, and we had everything secure and everything had to have TMP. But unfortunately, the systems that we bought to run some of the models, the 3-dimensional models, were beefed up, did not have TMP. Now, of course, everything's coming out with that, and it's easier for us to manage that stuff and encrypt. All right, they also include this chip remover. All right, it's actually a key that has a pretty much it's a tool set pretty much, and this is to remove this piece right here. You can actually twist it out and remove it and add your own, or maybe taking it off completely if you don't want it to be touching the base itself or anything like that. That's something, it's an optional, right? Now, this is because if you got the longer chip, for example, I got the short one, which belongs in here, in this part right here. And you just have to remove this part of it, or let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to remove this, take this off here. Put this in here. It doesn't lock in place at all. So we want to be able to remove this. All right, look at that. You can remove it with the tool itself, all right? And then you can add this one right here. So if you're working in a place that has plastic, maybe you want to use something similar to it so you won't get any static on it. And this is a perfect static-free cover that they have for it. So just put in your motherboard there. Make sure you're static-free when you're actually working with these things. They do sell the static-free bracelets and so forth, but I never used them in my life. So I don't want to jinx it. Let's go ahead and start and install it. 99.6 of you are not subscribers in my channel. I hope that the content helps you out and that you find it very useful. And I hope you hit the like and subscribe